Hello guys, today we're going to do some routine service on the Eaglecraft scooter. I'm going to change the oil, adjust the valves. Valves probably need to be adjusted. I don't think they've ever been done, and it's got 3,500 miles on it. It's getting a little cold-blooded. It's not running all that smooth. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the plastics off of this and start getting down to business. Okay. Alright, first thing I did was I removed the battery cover. It's just held in by two screws. Let me pull the screw out here so I don't lose it. It sits in there like that, and then it's got a screw there and a screw there, just Phillips. So go ahead and take that off. I'm going to have to take the battery out because I can't get this tray out with the battery in it. So that's going to be this, 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 and this, and then it should pull on out. Now I'm finding that I need to find a few miscellaneous nuts and bolts for it, so I'll be doing that too. I might have to replace some of the vacuum lines on it. I've never pulled this one apart to service it, and I bought it used, so there's no telling what's been serviced and what hasn't. So that's where we are with it. With these two nuts off, I can actually just lift the seat off, set it aside. So I'm going to do that. Off she comes. Now I've got to disconnect the battery. That's easy, it's just a Phillips. Where's my Phillips? So what I like to do is I like to put this screw back in here so I don't lose that little lead nut. Alright, now that that's out, I've got two more bolts to pull off right there. Okay, those are out now. Now I can pull this cover off. Actually, the under seat compartment. I have to feed the fuse holder through the side of it. There we go. And then we can set that aside. What we're after is that valve cover right there. And it's a real son of a gun to get at with all these plastics in the way. So to remove the plastics, I've got to take the rack off, and then I can pull the plastics off the back of the bike. Some parts that give common problems on these. Here's the auto enricher for the carburetor. Here's the starter solenoid. Here's the fuse holder. I don't know if this one's stock or not. This one actually carries an extra fuse, it looks like, inside. Fuel pump. These give problems. And then the vacuum lines. Vacuum lines are usually cheap Chinese vacuum lines, and they give problems. So, although these don't look so bad, they look like they're in pretty good shape. Another thing to inspect is your intake. This is a plastic part and a crack, and then you'll have a vacuum leak. Alright, to remove the rack, you need to first remove the hand holds, and then back here there's another brace. Those need to be loosened, and then this should be able to lift off of the body. once I get that done, then it's about loosening this bolt, loosening these two screws on the side, and then there's two under the bumper, and then the tail light, and then she should just come off. Alright, I'm ready to take the rack and trunk off. I've got all the bolts loose and out. Something I do to keep track of them. It's on these two brackets. There's a short one and a long one. So I just put them back in the bracket so I'll know which is which. Alright, the bracket is, or the rack is off of the scooter. Now I can remove this screw. The two screws up front right here, and the three or two, I think it's two, under the bumper right here. Feels like one's missing. Time for a coffee break though. Got my good old 7-Eleven coffee. It's freaking cold. Oh well. Alright, next thing you gotta do is you've gotta work all these places where the body work snaps together. So you gotta work those loose. I got one back there I still need to work loose, and I should be good to go. This one here is already loose, so that's the last one. Next, this is the tail light connector. That one's back in there, so now we'll have to undo this one. Alright. So just press down on the little deal right there, and it should come loose. Of course, trying to do this with one hand is next to impossible, but, well, I got it. Alright. Oh, almost forgot. We've got the latch. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do, because I can't get my hands down in here, my hands are just too big, is I'm going to take this guy off. To do that, I need to take this trim plate off and then unbolt the floorboard, and then I should be able to kind of jiggle it and work it back and forth and get it off of there. And remember, these things just snap together, but you got to be real careful because you don't want to break any of the tabs. Okay, because of my big hands, I end up having to take the floorboard out as well. Not a real big deal, but this is the point where you lock the garage door so your wife doesn't come in and see your scooter all tore apart and in bits and pieces. I got bits over there, bits over there, but, bits right here. But now a lot of guys will say you don't have to tear them down this far to do a valve adjustment. One of the reasons I am tearing it down this far is because my hands are just too big to fit in there. We did my buddy's Baron, which is almost the same scooter with a few differences. We were able to get through the fuel door on his because basically his fuel tank is up there, not down there, but it still has a fuel door, so we were able to work the valve cover bolts through there, but it was still a pain in the butt. This is going to be a whole lot nicer for me to work on, and it's going to save me a lot of time because I'm not working around things, even though I had to tear the scooter down further. But again, this is the point where you lock the garage and you don't let your wife come in and see it, because she'll see it and have a heart attack. Although my wife knows a little better because I've had trucks tore apart and everything else, so I'm not too worried about that. But if you ever wanted to see what an Eagle Craft looks like, well, half naked anyway, here's what they look like. There are a couple extra harnesses in here you don't need to worry about. They use basically the same harness on all scooters, and so you end up with little things like this just off to the side, not plugged in. One thing I did notice, and this is where it's a big advantage to have it tore apart like this. So I notice this ground over here is loose, so I'll tighten that down while I'm in here. It really does give me a good chance to inspect everything. Fuel lines. I've got a few missing bolts here and there that I need to take care of. I can't believe how dirty it is. It's dusty more than anything, so it should probably be cleaned up a little bit. But all in all, I'll get these valves adjusted and get it all. Looks like my sending unit's leaking just a little bit too over here. That's gasoline. So I'll clean that up a little bit and maybe change the gasket on the sending unit.